Okay, so I've just had my fucking mind blown. Like this is literally blowing my mind. Okay, I think I probably just had like the biggest epiphany I've ever had in my life and may ever have in my life. Um, okay, so I never really understood this quote, right? Um, I mean, I did, but I never experienced it. So I guess I really did never understand it because I never did it, right? You know the whole what is it? Hear and forget, see and remember, do and understand. Like I'm talking to my buddy Mikey about this experience that I've gone through. He's not really getting it, and I'm like, and you won't because there's no amount of intellectualizing and mental masturbating and information sharing that we can do for you to understand it. The only way you'll understand is by doing it. I remember when I would train people to cold call, and like they wouldn't and it's like that's why we have to do. There's this weaving of information and doing, information and doing, information and doing. When you just have this wavelength of information, it almost from my experience it has the opposite effect. It actually gets people to not take action. So you but you can't give them no information because then they're just too terrified. Then they have no eyesight. Like they're just going in blind, and that terrifies them. So the information is kind of like the light. But if you shine too much light, then it becomes overwhelming because now they can see everything that they have to do and it's too much. So you shine the light and then they do a little. They shine the light, do a little. That has nothing to do with this video. I don't know why I just started talking about that. But this is the biggest epiphany I just had, which is the quote, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm just now realizing what David did on the call. He didn't change anything for me. Okay, so I had a call with this man who's completely changed my life. Okay. And all he did was he didn't change anything. Because what I'm realizing is you can't change anything. There is one thing you can change, but everything else is just an illusion of like change or control or whatever. So let me bring it in, right? I'm having a conversation with Princess, who's fucking crushing it. Like, she's an absolute fucking boss, and she's like posting content. She's crushing it in sales. And I've always just had a lot of respect for her, even when I was in this sales program with her, because she would really just throw herself out there. Like she was just putting herself in the fucking fire, and it's really respectable, like really respectable. It's this one quote: "The our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." And then the end of that is when you do it, when you give yourself permission to shine as bright as you can, you are also doing that for others. And every time I get on Facebook, I'll see something from her, and I'm like, it's like it motivates. It's not motivation isn't even the word. It's just like, how do I explain it? Like I don't know. It's like this energetic experience is happening where it's like, oh, like it's almost like I feel like I too now have permit, like the quote says. But again, that's not what this video is about. So she says, so we're talking about this thing, right? She's like, oh, so I hear you're doing this now, right? Because I was in sales and I completely went from sales to coaching. Um, Not even about sales, about mental health and mindset stuff. Um, and I said 100%. I found something that changed my life, and now I'm going to share it. She goes, I'm so happy. Is this like a mindset thing? And I go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And she says this. She asked me this question, and it triggered me a little bit because I was like, oh, I didn't resonate with it. Like I was like, oh, I don't like that. Like that's pushing me away. She said, are you ready for that responsibility? And when it hit me, it triggered me because I was like, oh, I don't know that. I didn't like that. Like I didn't like that word and the energy it had inside of me. Like when it was happening, I was like, ooh, responsibility. That's not how I looked at it. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm having such an easy time doing this because of how I'm looking at it. Literally. So if you are struggling with doing something, you can't change the thing. There's nothing you can't change. The only thing you are in control of is how you see things. So it's not the thing that's the problem. It's the way you see the thing that's the problem. And this blew my fucking mind because it's like, that's what David did on this call. I've been living for 29 years and I've been looking at it this way. And I've been trying to change it. But I couldn't. And I was killing myself, literally. Like, just fucking, like that one quote where it's like it's a sign of trauma when you are going to the hands that caused you harm looking for healing. And you're trying to change the thing and you can't change the thing. You can only change the way you look at things. And then when you do that, the thing changes. And it's like, so she's like, oh, for that responsibility, I literally couldn't be, she said, are you ready for that responsibility? I said, I literally couldn't be happier. 100%. Ha 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 ha. Like I went into like I went out of my awareness and went into like, I'm just going to respond to her. Right. And then I came back to my awareness and I was like, wait, why am I doing this? Let me be honest. And it was, I said, I don't even look at it that way, to be honest. It feels more like a duty, like a service, like a mission than it does a responsibility. And then now I'm explaining my trigger to her and I go, responsibility feels like something I have to take on, like a weight. That's not what this is. I didn't take this on. This took me on. So now it's living in me and will live through me. I said, I guess that's why I'm having such an easy time doing this. I didn't even notice it, but I'm literally experiencing the work right now from David, which is changing the way we look at things. And I said, like, the work of looking at things differently, because I just described how I look at it, and why I'm having such an easy time doing it is because I changed how I looked at the things I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm blowing my own mind. Like, oh my God, you literally just fucking blew my mind. I have to go make a video about this. So that's the key. That's the, sorry guys, let me get my hair right. That's the, at least for me, in how I've seen such incredible change in my life, is literally from changing the way I look at things. And I didn't even realize it until I had this conversation with her. And I am literally blown away. So that's what I do. That's what I'm in the business of. That's the art of change, the science of change, is helping others change the way they look at things. That's what I do. Holy fuck.